Welcome to Drop Into Being, where we learn and we remember the art of self-transformation, identity mastery. Really what that means though is that you have the capacity to reorient here, right here, in your own being. And this is what creates change. This is what creates a life that you feel fulfilled and enlivened within, because it is all within. It all starts within. It is actually all just within. And who we are, who we believe we are, the things that we believe in, what we expect life to be, how we expect others to be, and who we think we are in relation to them or the outer world is only and always, in all ways, a projection of who we believe we are in this world. So, in this channel, here with me, Maeve Lee, welcome, we are focused on centering ourselves, knowing who we are, so that we can let go of the conditioning, the programs that we have been instilled with throughout all of our life so far. And in doing so, we're decoding the matrix within our own mind and our soul and our body. And in doing that, we're able to transcend our human suffering, any confusion, and be the truest co-creator with the universe, not with anyone else, which sometimes, you're still interfacing with the matrix and other people, and that's fine. That's great. It's beautiful. It can be when you are centered in yourself and with the cosmic energy, right, of the universe. This is about you remembering that you are the creator. We all individually are our own universe. And what a beautiful opportunity that is. So one of the foundational elements of the teachings here is that in order to access your creation, your own creative energy, your creator, we have to go within and we have to learn to be. We be in stillness, we be with ourselves, we learn to have self-reflection and conscious awareness of our experience and how we are in the world. You see, in doing this, we then can interface with the matrix in a way that is supportive and not hindering. It is in this way that we can transcend the karma. Karma is the energetic manifestations that have already been put in place that you may very well have to move through in order to get to the next manifestation that's going to come. And you can experience time in this, right? So you may remember that something you wanted 5 years ago is now where you are, but now you want something different and you're manifesting something different. And the trick with all of this is that we are learning to close that gap, that we are learning to live in the constant manifestation, the instant manifestation, in the flow. And in Zen Buddhism, that's what it's about, is living in the flow. An example of this is when children do this. Children are constantly impulsively moving in the flow because they don't have a concept of time, expectation, reality of themselves. The self in a child is really not developed until around 7 years old, and their temperament is not developed until about 3. And so this is such a potent time for us to make sure we're laying down the right foundation for them of expansion, that we're allowing their expansive energy, their creator energy to stay centered in their own being. And when we still have things to unlock within our own matrix, that can be a very delicate trick of parenting, is how do we allow them to stay in their creator energy and not micromanage them or not instill our own programming and matrix constructs into them. And the funny thing, the ironic thing, is that's why parenting is such a spiritual experience, because it will show you everywhere that you have your programming. So will any relationship. In all things we do, we are in relationship. Anything that we interact with, whether it's these leaves here, those, my landmates, my partner, or my children, my parents, friends, anyone at the supermarket, anyone, any animal, any blade of grass, concepts. We can interact with concepts, our ideas, our dreams, our memories, our past, our traumas. We have a relationship to them. How we relate to them. And the interesting thing is when we take back our creator energy, all of the programming of, well, this is who I am, this is who I need to be, this is what it means to be successful, this is what it means to suffer, or any identities that we have with previous suffering, previous experiences in life, or our idea of what we want in the future, all of that collapses. And so the reason that I teach this with you, and I'm so glad you're here, so if you are fired up and ready for this, make sure you're commenting, subscribed, liking this video so that we can start this revolution. I call this the personal revolution is the next revolution. This personal revolution that you're embarking on today and with me in our community is the only thing that matters. It is because everything comes from here. And so it doesn't matter what specific thing you're trying to change in your life or adjust in your life or attract. It all will come from this. And once this is centered and we collapse all of the trauma and the overlay and the programming that you think you are in this world, once all of the attachments to that disappear, the centeredness will tell you, your own creation energy will tell you, will guide you in which way to move. The first thing that you need to understand about this energy and this experience, this shift in perspective, is that your relationship to yourself is an experience. It's not a perceived mental skill. It is the experience of being in your body and in the co-creative energy with your own creation energy in the universe. So, what does that mean? It means that we have to learn, we have to remember. It means that we are gifted beyond measure. This is not measurable, but you will see the results once it happens. Is that when we are in this energy here, everything lightens. Everything expands and you experience the spaciousness. Okay? The spaciousness that is here for you to create. And it's not a doing, it's a being. And so there is no effort, there is no will, there is no force. You cannot force a river to flow, but you can learn to be in the flow of it. And sometimes we experience things that are difficult or easy, that are challenging and a blissful ride, right? These nuances, these dualities of life are part of nature. It is part of the cosmic experience that we came here to have. And the lessons that we have in our own lives We all have it. There's no one that has a worse life or a better life than you, because this is just the experience. There is no comparison. But what you can compare for yourself is how you perceive your life to be. And so when we're in this co-creative energy within ourselves, when we're centered in this, we have compassion for ourselves and others. We have an understanding that there is no good or bad, that there is just the experience. And it is our reaction to that experience that will create the suffering. If you think that this is a bad thing, if you think that it's going to be painful for you or difficult for you, or if this is something that you've been trying to avoid, right? You have all of this energetic charge behind this thing that you didn't want to experience, and now you're experiencing it. Something I've experienced in my life is I have over my life said, I don't want to ever do that thing. I don't ever want to have this thing happen to me, right? And unconsciously, that was just a simple kind of thought in my mind, and kind of maybe a standard I had set for myself. And unconsciously, every one of those things have become true over my lifetime. I've been on this journey for 10 years. And so I've noticed, like, really since in the last 10 years, when I would say I don't want to experience this thing, within 5 to 8 years, I have experienced that thing. And then the work, right? This is the magic. This is where we have dominion over ourselves, is to learn how to react or non-reaction. Okay? When you're in the beginning of this journey, non-reaction is the greatest gift. It is the first thing to practice. It is, or one of the first things to practice. So we just practice this expansive, like, oh, I see this thing in front of me. Interesting. Oh, here it is. Interesting. And the thing that we're doing is we're not cognitively trying to combat, understand, analyze, theorize this human experience. We are here to learn it and be in it. And when we just sit back and you take care of your energetic frequency while you're experiencing this experience, you learn so much about yourself. And this is where we reprogram the nervous system to not have a fight, flight, freeze experience because of the mental constructs of, I didn't want to experience this. So you either try to escape or you freeze in it and you collapse into it. All of this is to say that something along the lines of everything happens in the gap between the stimulus and the response, between the nerve releasing and then this next nerve grabbing onto that impulse. There's this gap, the response. Everything happens in the gap. And in this work, in this recentering of yourself, your focus is in the gap. It's not in controlling what happens on this side or controlling what's happening on this side, right? A lot of us try to be perfect so that we can control bad things not happening, and so that we can control only good things happening, that we only want good people to respond to us, or we only want good jobs, or we only want pleasant experiences in this world. But that's not the reality that we live in, because the reality of the human experience is a spectrum. And what could be good to one person is not necessarily good to the next, right? And so there is no good or bad. There is just a spectrum of experience. When we learn to live in the gap, which is our own co-creative energy and our creator energy, then we have this expansive ability to just freeze time and say, how am I being? How do I feel? What do I want to create? How am I either instigating my suffering, creating my suffering, or am I crafting ease, wellness, abundance? See, abundance isn't just having things or having what you want. It's about having the space within your being to respond in a resilient way to life. And that's what we want. We really want the capacity to respond to life in a resourced manner, in a resourcefulness that allows you to feel confident and capable, right? In Western psychology, we call this self-efficacy. And it's the experience that when I am able to respond to life and instill my self out in the world, that I'm successful. The problem is that we hang our feelings on, or our identity on, the success and the outcome, the results, instead of the experience. So we could always and always experience pleasant, wellness, expansion, compassion, love in the experience and still have a good experience no matter what's happening. Because we realize and we remember that everything is happening for our own good. And there are so many cliche spiritual teachings out there, and that's one of them. I understand that. But when you come into this being and centeredness, you realize how those cliche spiritual teachings are so true. And something I experienced on my journey before I got to this place is that a lot of the times that spiritual teaching would make me so annoyed, because I was like, I don't understand that. I don't get it. How could that be true? And my programming was fighting it. Because my programming says, no, life is actually hard. I've seen it, I've experienced it. Life is hard. So then how can I pause my experience, go in within, and experience peace and bliss? By letting go of the mind. We come back to being. And that's why the foundation of this work within yourself is dropping into being. It's remembering that this is the ultimate truth and the ultimate priority. So as we finish up this video, I'm so happy you were here, and I hope you stay and return. I'm doing a daily video for the next year, 365 days. I don't have a list in my own house, but because this is the list. Our YouTube channel, you should, in 365 days, see 365 videos. Because I am here to help our human experience shift into the next dimension. This is the time. And if you don't want to be stuck in the 3D world, if you want to be going to the 5D, if you want to experience the shifts that are happening without the suffering but expanding, then that's what this channel is about, is helping you do that. It's helping us all make the shift together, and to remember that this time and space and time on this world that we chose to be here for, we chose to be here because this is our playground. This is an experience, a wild ride, a fun. We are the creators of our experience. That means we get to create whatever we want to experience. And I want you to experience that too by decoding the matrix within yourself. Because the matrix will throw all of these nuanced things at you as you're trying to escape. It's almost like, so there's like this vortex of energy, right? It's the more you try to get away, it's going to pull stronger at you to come back into that vortex, because that's just the energetic reality of what's happening. So instead of fighting against or resisting the current structure, institutions, social, energetic, collective consciousness, we're just gonna neutralize ourselves, come into being, stop reacting, and then we will just naturally fall out of orbit of those things, and it won't try to pull us back in because we are neutral. You're not resisting, you're not trying to get away so hard, right? You are actually just slowly drifting away from the things that you don't want. And those things will stop having such a hold on you. And they will stop having such an emotional, physical charge in your experience, in your body, and in your mind, which is where all of those symptoms that don't feel good are. You know, it really is the symptoms that are telling us, hey, this isn't working, let's find something else to do. And that's why you're here, to drop into being. So let's close this video for a second time. I'll try to do that because I could talk about this stuff forever. Is that I want you to just sit where you are, sit where you're comfortable. You could stand if you want to. I want you to close your eyes. Take a deep belly breath. Relax your jaw, your ears, your eyes. Let them fall heavy. Make noise. If you're in a space where you can, it can be helpful to even do this. Do that as many times. Maybe you feel tension in your body. Just bring your hands, rub them first together to create the heat of your life force energy, your quantum, your Shakti, your Shiva energy. This is your life force energy. It is yours. It is your creator energy. Say it with me. This is my creator energy, and I am the creator. I am the creator of my life. I am expansive, and I accept the responsibility of my creator energy. But more, pause. Deep breath. Exhale. Deep breath in. Pause at the top. Take a little sip. More, and exhale. Do you feel your hands tingling? Maybe bring your hands closer and farther apart. This energy between your hands is your quantum energy. It is your creator energy. The creator is within you, as it is within all of us. We are all only responsible for ourselves. This means you do not need to martyr yourself for others. You do not need to fix others, heal anyone else. All we can do is be invited into this energy of co-creation with the universe, within our being, and help ourselves understand, to grasp the reality, to live within the reality that this is true. The space that you have created within you in this moment is here whenever you need it. Allow it to guide you. Come to it whenever you need counsel or calm. This is what I call being your own guru. Your inner wisdom will guide you. Put your hands up. Strong arms. Hands like this. And say, I am my creator, my own creator, and I accept the responsibility to be the best that I can be by dropping into being instead of doing or forcing. I open to the cosmic energies that will support my self-evolution, and I am here to live an expansive, joyful, pleasant life And I have compassion for when I fall out of this awareness. For I know that I am here to learn, to experience, and I do so with the most amount of self-love. For as beautiful as the world is, I am too. Bring your hands to heart center. In Kundalini, we say Satnam. Please chant it with me. It goes Satnam. One more time for you. Allow your vocal cords to sing the wisdom of the vibrational reality that this is true. You are the creator. Sa